a travel app. So you can create a tag and give it, you can create a tag, you can give it a unique name like travel, like that. You can give it a unique name like travel, like that. But if, for example, you don't want to all the time, the moment a tag is required, you want all the time to come in and type travel, you come in and type travel, we can create what we call a variable, okay? We can create what we call a variable. Okay, you can create what we call a variable. So what are variables? Let me just mention, if, for example, you've never heard what a variable is. A variable is a temporary data or a temporary storage. Okay, it's a temporary storage that can be called and be used throughout a program, okay? And you can even Google it later. What is a variable or variable in programming? Variables in programming. So you can just have a look. They used to store information to be referenced and manipulated in a computer. So we are creating a variable so that it can store a tag information, okay? It can store a particular tag, this tag, so that we can reference it the moment we want to use it. So we'll create a variable. How do you create a variable? You click there, and then you pick the first one, initialize global name to that. So this name is what you're supposed to change to give it to give that variable as a unique name. So we can say initialize global, something like I mean Firebase tag, like that. You can say initialize global Firebase tag to travel, like that. So that we don't have any time tag is required, we don't have to type in travel. Of course, you can do it, but we shouldn't because there is a better way to do things. And variable is one concept that you won't miss. So far what we have done is we have created, of course, this was what we did. We found this when chat.initialize, the set chat.title. This we did in the previous class. Now what we are doing is we went to Firebase database and then chose call Firebase db1.get value, and for tag is what you are going to add there. So how do we reference in this tool? You just click on variables again, and then you choose the get one, okay? Click on variables, and then you choose the get one, that get, and then put it in the tag. And then for the tag, you click on that drop down, and then it will be global Firebase tag. So anytime you want to reference it, we are going to use it. I hope we are together. Very simple. It's going to be very simple. I'll try to be as slow as possible, but I would want you to understand as much as possible, okay? Okay, great. Great. Now, after we have done that, of course, we have called Firebase db1.getValue and done a few activities here. So get value, and after you say get value, there is a function that you have to use, or rather a method that you have to use so that it handles when that value has been gotten. But we're going to talk about that in a few moments. So for now, what you're going to do is when that send button is clicked, okay, let's go to the designer section. There is that chart, everything, there is that chart title, we have handled that. Then there is that text, that label in a vertical scroll arrangement. And then there is a message text box where someone can type in a message, and we've given it a hint of type a message. And then we have button send. And I saw that some of you are creative enough to put an icon here instead of just a send text. That was awesome. I really commend that. That was awesome. So what you're handling is this. When someone has typed something and then they've clicked send button, or when someone clicks that send button, what should happen? So let's go to the block section. There is a lot that is going to happen there, okay? So when send message button dot click, like that, click on that send message button and choose when send message button dot click. So what should happen when send message button dot click? First of all, someone can click on send and there is nothing. Let's check on what happens when someone, I mean, on WhatsApp, WhatsApp has handled it a bit better. Let me come to, for example, a Coders at American session group. Let me just share my screen a bit, okay? So there is no send icon until I type something. So you can implement that, okay? That is very possible. Like when there is some value there, someone can hit on send. But when there is nothing, that send icon is not there, okay? But right now, let's handle it in the way that we know, in the simplest way possible. So we are saying when send message button dot click, what should happen? We have to check when that if that is empty, okay? If that text box is empty, so we put an if is empty, okay? We put an if is the control section. I'm sure right now you're familiar with most of the items. So we say if is empty, if, then we come to the text section is empty, and then we get message text box dot text, message text box dot text, message text box dot text. So if is empty, message text box dot text. What should happen if is empty? Then we can just notify the user, please type the message fast. So click on notifier and then call notifier one dot show alert notice. Call notifier one dot show alert notice, and then we can put in please type the message fast. So that it's not very distracting. You know, if you put a notifier with an OK button, that is majorly used when you're signing up or creating an account. But in this section, you have to just handle it in the simplest way possible. So keep on. If you have any questions, please keep on ask us as many times as you would like, as long as it's with regards to this session or coders at American Spaces, or you can type it in the comments, in the comment section. If you are live on Facebook, you can type it on our Facebook page comment section of this live video, or if you are in Zoom, you can just type in the chat message. Great. I'm sure this is now easier as we progress. It is now easier. And as we progress, you'll find it very easy to come up with your own logic, because this one we just came up with our own logic. So we highly encourage you to always be thinking of how you want your user interface or how you want your backend to work, and then come up with your own logic, okay? So after that, we can add an else, of course. If let's say a message has been added, we can add an else, okay? Then in the else section, we are going to add another if, okay? We are going to add another if to handle if it is just the first time a user has opened that chat. If it is the first time a user has opened that chat page and no one has ever typed a message there, okay? It means that the Firebase database is blank. You handle it in a specific way, okay? So in the else section, click on control and drag another if, and put it there, okay? And then we say, I hope we are together. I hope we are together. Now, one thing I forgot to add is, are you seeing in this section where they call Firebase db1.get value, in that entire block of when chat.initialize, there is that call Firebase db1.get value. The tag is global Firebase tag. Now, if tag is not there, we should put some value, okay? You can say start conversation. That means that if Firebase has gotten some value in the Firebase database, okay, and there is no value there, it means that is a fresh start, okay? It should just write start conversation. The value should just be start conversation. It will be the first value. Now, how do we handle this? That's why we've added another if, okay? So in that if, we say if, then we go to the logic and get the equal sign like that and say if that global Firebase tag, okay, we can duplicate that and put it there, or you can go the long way to variables and click on the drop down and select global tag like that. So if global Firebase tag is start conversation, okay, if it is start conversation, then what should we do? We now start saving new data to the Firebase database. Okay, we start now saving new data to the Firebase database. So it's very simple. Click on the Firebase database in the block section, and then click on call Firebase db1.store value. Call Firebase db1.store value, put it there. The tag, of course, it's the global tag. You store it in that tag. And then for value to store, now this is where it's going to get a bit lengthy. So the tag is that Firebase tag that we are using. Are you seeing now the importance of variables? You don't have to type, let's say the tag is travel tag. I come here, I would have typed here travel tag, travel tag, travel tag. No, right now I'm just referencing it. So I think it's very important and worth mentioning. So the tag is global Firebase tag. Then for value to store, go to the text and get a join. And that join, you're going to extend it several times. I hope we are together up to that point. Great. Now, for value to store, the first value, of course, is the tag itself, the tag itself. So, okay, just a minute. So there is one variable. There is one variable I forgot to add. Of course, there is that Firebase tag, but when that data comes from Firebase, it should be placed in a particular, what can I say? It should be placed in a particular variable in a way that we can format it to place it in the text box, okay? To place it in the label, not the text box, in the label, so that people can be able to see the conversations that they are reading. Okay, so what we can do is we can still go to the variables and then create another variable. And that one you can give it any name. I think we can say Firebase data. Okay, Firebase data, like that. And then we can make it blank. Just give it a blank text. Sorry about that. So what we have done is we've created another variable and called it Firebase data. That one will be used to store that data that comes from the Firebase itself, from the online Firebase itself. So this tag, at least it has a name. Why? Because We don't want it to change. We want that our Firebase database to have that travel tag. And we're going to check that. We'll check that after we try out this app. After we install that app, we try it out. We'll go to our Firebase database and look. You'll find that a travel tag has been created in that bucket, in your project bucket. Great. Okay, now if we scroll down, the first value to store, of course, the first thing is we'll start with adding more data to this Firebase data that we have, okay? So we'll just go to the variables, we'll go to the variables and then get a get, put in the first join, and then select Firebase data like that. So what are we doing? If someone hits send, that Firebase data, whatever is there, okay, whatever is there should be added in the conversation. It's just like WhatsApp. When you type in something, the conversations that were, it is added in the conversations that were there before. So that's what we are starting with, okay? Join that, we join that, okay? And then the second one, we are going to add some, what I can say is some styling so that in case you're the one typing, it shows, because this is a very simple chat. It's not like WhatsApp, it's a very simple chat. So we are going to type it in a way that your username is in bold and then your text follows in normal font, okay? So in the first join, we are going to add a text. We are going to add a text, a text like that. And then because we are using, we enabled HTML, I hope you guys remember that we clicked on the advanced properties there and enabled the HTML format. So if you haven't done that, ensure that the HTML format is checked. Bure, your text will just look funny. Your text won't look palatable, okay? So ensure that the HTML format is selected. Now let's go back to the block section. Now we have said that we want this to have a specific font. You can even choose it to have a specific color. Okay, you can choose it to have a specific color. So for now, we are going to, I think we'll give it a specific color. We can give it a specific color and make it bold. So this is how you go about it. You open the tag, that is opening tag, like the HTML opening tag, and then you type font hyphen, not hyphen, I mean font space, color, then equals. This just like similar to inline CSS, okay? Font color equal, then you open the quotation mark. I'll just type it in the comment section. I'll type it in the comment section as well. So font color equal, you can say red, okay? You can say red. If red is too shouting, you can change that to blue or green. But for now, it's not very possible for you to put, let's say, a hex code there. So we can just say green for now, okay? Font color, green, and then we can close that font. We can close that. Though we are not going to close the font here, we will close somewhere below. And then we can open the bold tag. Let me just type that in the comment section so that you can be able to copy and paste easily for your sake. But what we've done is font color equals green, just the way you write in line CSS, just the way you write in line CSS. So I've pasted that in the comments. You can have a look. Font color green. So we have opened the font color and we have opened the font element and we have opened the bold element. Then you're going to put your title there and close these elements in this join string. So let's extend this join. Click, I know you remember how to extend it. Click on that settings, drag a string, put it below, okay? Put it below. And then we are going to call tinydb1.getValue, or you can duplicate the one that is up here. You can duplicate this and then drag it below. That is your username, okay? That is your username. So it will indicate, the moment you type a message, it will indicate the person that is typing the message, okay? So that is your username. And then we are going to extend this join again. Okay. Put it there, extend that join again. And then what do we have after that? We are going to close this font and bold. We are going to close font and bold. So let's duplicate that. Put a blank text like that. And then how do you close? I know you guys remember. It's you remember the closing tag. Of course, you close the bold first, and then you close the font. That's how HTML works, okay? You open an element, and if you put elements inside, you close those elements that are inside first before you close the outward element, okay? So we've closed the bold and we've closed the font. Let me just type that in the comments as well so that you can have it easy, so that you can't have errors like that. So if I made a mistake, it will be all of us, but I'm sure that's correct. Fantastic. Now extend that join again. I think right now you can extend it 3 times. Let me make it easier for you. Extend it 3 times like that. You can extend it 3 times to make it easier. Great. Now in that other section, what we are going to do is we'll put a blank bubble. We'll put a blank bubble and then put a full colon. Of course, after that bold message, you can put a full colon and a space, a full colon and a space, so that, yeah, those words cannot, the words that someone types cannot touch each other, okay? And then we go down and get a message text box. We get a message text box and then choose message text box dot text. That is the one that you've typed in the chat. Message text box dot text. The one that you type in the chat will be the one that is displayed. So after message text box dot text, we are going to put again another blank text bubble and then put another HTML tag we call break. I know you are familiar with this because last year you were learning an introduction to HTML. So break twice so that we can have some nice space, Break is a self-closing tag, so you don't have to, it's not a must for you to close it, but yeah, that's why we are using it like that. Yeah, break. I hope we are together up to that point. What we've just added is very simple. We've added a global Firebase tag as the tag, of course, and then value to store. You get the Firebase data, and then add the data that is the one that the user is going to type. So in our case, we have Firebase data. Then we add that data, formatted data. It will be of font green, or color green and bold, the username, and then the message will just be of normal format. And then we break so that it formats this data for us. And then what we can do is after we store value, of course, we get value so that it refreshes, okay? It's real time, so it stores and gets value. So scroll down and click on Firebase database 1, and then choose call Firebase database 1.getValue. And of course, our tag is the normal tag. So you click on the variables, or you can just start typing get. You'll be able to see get global Firebase tag like that. That's a shortcut. But you can go to variables and then choose get and drag and drop in the tag section, and then choose the drop down global Firebase tag, the tag. Then the final thing is after someone has hit send, clear that text box. So what we say is, what we do is you call message text box one, click on message text box one, and then you say set message text box one dot text to something to blank. Okay, set message text box one. You can pick any like this, fit it below, and then you say dot text, set message text box one dot text to blank. So I can duplicate this value is not there and put it there, a blank text bubble. Wow. I hope we are together. Don't hesitate if you have any question. Thank you so much for your feedback, guys. I can see we are together. I can see we are together. I know this is a bit technical, but it's not really. It's not really. It's just very simple. Adding data, storing data, getting value, storing data, getting value, just like that. And ensuring that you have a Firebase tag and you also have data from the Firebase itself, okay? Amina, you are done. That is awesome. Charles, Margaret, thank you for your feedback, guys. I can see you guys are following. Thank you for your feedback. At least we know that we are doing something together. Now, let's extend that if to have an else. So if it's not the first time someone is coming, we are going to just duplicate code here. It's going to be very easy. So click on that settings icon of that inner if, okay? That inner if that contains if get global Firebase tag equals to start conversation, something like that. But else, we drag that, else and put it there, scroll upwards and click on that settings icon so that it disappears. And then we are going to duplicate whatever we have here. So what you're going to duplicate is you're going to duplicate in the 10 section. That 10 section is just what is going to be in the else section. So what do? Click on that call Firebase db1.store value and duplicate and drag it in the else section there, like that. And then click on call Firebase db1. Okay, I don't know. Okay, click on call Firebase db1.get value, the one that follows it, drag it and fix it after. And then click on set message text box.text to blank, and then scroll down and fix it under. It's exactly what we are doing, but without without an additional, without it having that start conversation as the start value. Fantastic. We are almost there. We are almost there.
Joan, someone is saying
Yes,
that
Madam Rod.
you can scroll a little bit up.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Let me minimize my code so that it's visible. Thank you. Awesome. I hope we are together up to that point. So what we have done is we have duplicated this call Firebase db1.store value, and then we've duplicated call Firebase db1.get value, and we've duplicated again set message textbox1.text and dragged them in the same order. Now the final piece of code, the final piece, I don't know if it's a piece of code, block. Yes, let me use the right terms. The final block is now when that value has been gotten, what should happen, okay? When that value has been gotten, what should happen? So we scroll down and click on Firebase DB1 and say, when Firebase DB1.got value, okay? When Firebase DB1.got value. So what do? We say we set global. Now with these variables, we set that variable to, after a value has been gotten, we change the data that has been, the Firebase data that is originally there to the updated one, okay? So we say, we click on variables and choose set and put it there, and then say set, click on that drop down and then choose global Firebase data, okay? We are changing that data to be the latest, to be the updated one. So we set global Firebase data to, to value, okay? To value. Now, how do we get that value? Just hover on that bubble that has that is in the Firebase database one.got value. Just hover on that bubble, you'll see get, okay? You'll see a get. Let me repeat. We there at the when Firebase db1.get got value, hover on the value bubble, okay? Hover on the value bubble and then drag that get and put it there. Then the final thing, okay? The final thing, you remember that label, the label that is showcasing the chart? That's now that's where we handle it here, okay? That's how, or this is how we are going to handle it. And we are going to handle it when that value has been gotten. So we are going to say set label one. I don't know why I didn't rename that, but it's okay. Set label one dot text to. So drag that set label one dot text, and then it should be value. Set label one dot text to that get value. So you can hover again and then choose get value and put it there. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to just finish that and digest that, and then we can install it and look at another concept that I promised you guys, okay? Just 2 minutes. Okay. Now, okay, let me see if we have any questions. Oh, great. I can see Margaret, you are done. That is really awesome. Anyone else who's done? Wow. Wow, I can see Sakina and Myra, you are done. That is awesome. Rukaya as well. That is wonderful. Amina, well done. Well done, guys. Wow, Charles, well done, well done. So as you're finishing that app, let me see if I have installed that in my phone. If I don't remember, I hope I remember the username and the password. That is how it looks like on my screen. I can't remember. Let me see if I can try guessing. So keep on, let me know as we are preparing to start another concept. It will take us a few minutes. It will take us a few minutes. So I'll try installing it in my phone. I think I had another version in my phone. Just checking to ensure that okay, there it is. Okay, it seems I already have it. So what happens is if you give someone else this application, basically you've created, when they go to the chat section, you've created a conversation. They can talk to one another, they can chat in that forum in real time, okay? So that's one thing I'd mention. I just wanted to demonstrate that very quickly, if possible. Let me see if it will work. So at your own time, kindly try it out. You can give someone that app, send them the link to the APK. It expires in 2 hours. If you don't, this link is only valid in 2 hours. You can send them that link so that they can download it and try. But if maybe you can be able to download the app and send a more stable link, that's fine. But Gmail does not accept you sending apps to people because that's an executable file. It might be a virus or something of that sort. So username, let me just, I'm just using an example, okay? Just an example. This does not exist. Then for, uh, great. Fantastic. So at the chat section, you can see there were some conversations going on. Okay, there are some conversations going on. If I type something, it will come here, and if anyone installs this app, they can be able to have a nice chat, or they can be able to chat here and there. For example, if I type uh, hello guys, what an awesome evening. Hello guys, what an awesome evening. It is there in real time. And if anyone has this app, it will be able to reflect that in real time. So be your friend's helper, install the app in one another's phone, and try have a conversation and see how real time it is, okay? Great. Now, I promised you guys we are going to try out another concept, and okay, let me ensure that I get my screen. I'll get my screen back on. I promised you guys you're going to try another concept, and I said that you're going to try out a layout, a dynamic layout, and the layout we chose is bottom navigation. So I want us to try a bottom navigation, but at your own time, kindly go and try a side navigation as well. Try a side navigation, you'll find that it is very similar. Try side navigation, try also tab layout. You'll be able to see, like in each section, it will be similar to WhatsApp. Each section works on its data independently in a tab manner. And then you can try view pager as well. You can try view pager, groups or layout components that each you can access them by swiping left or right. They are just they just function as they are explained there. So for this, we'll require to create a new project. Kindly let's create a new project. Click on project and then new project. I don't want us to tamper with this travel one so much. So you can just click a new project, and then the project name, you can call it travel. No, hmm, bottom nav. Bottom nav example or bottom nav. Bottom nav. For bottom navigation. Then we leave everything as it is, and then click finish. So we are going to try out this bottom navigation. And before we do, there is a specific, let me just share with you the link, material icons. These are specific icons that I highly recommend you use in case you want to use bottom navigation, because they are created for this purpose. They are created for this purpose. You can go and look for other icons if you feel like, but I highly recommend this. I highly recommend this, and they are easily, they are more customizable and they are more native to both. I mean, they can be viewed in both iOS and Android. So material IO resources icons. Let me just share with you the link right now. So Margaret, you're asking, is there a limit to the number of people we can send to? No. If you have a list of 1,000 people you want to send the app to, that would be great to test it out. Okay, the only issue is the Firebase backend that you're using is a trial version. So if it exceeds the number of requests, that would be, I mean, you'd be charged. But text data is very small. The text is very small. So feel free, Margaret, send it to as many people as you would wish to. tell them you've created it. You have, it's your work. So send them and try it out. It will be awesome. And you can send us a screenshot of the sample messages that you guys have been talking about. Of course, yeah, feel free, feel free. So I've shared with you the link of the material icons where you can get the material icons, and then you can try out the bottom navigation, at least so that you can be familiar with some layout. We can be familiar with some layout. Great. So I'll go back to my creator page. I'll change that title. I'll change that title to bottom nav example, the title of screen one, bottom navigation example. My bottom is wrongly spelled. And then I can change, I think I can change, feel free, but for primary color, I don't know. I can choose purple, and then primary dark. I can choose purple, but the darker version of it by scrolling down just a little bit, like that. But it's not a must. We are majorly demonstrating bottom navigation. So what happens at the top doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. So the title of this page is bottom navigation example. Now let's go get that bottom navigation and put a few layout here and there. So click on the layout section, click on the layout, and then drag, click on, is it views? No, click on navigation, click on navigation, and then you'll be able to see bottom navigation. You'll be able to see bottom navigation, drag it and drop it in your screen, and you'll be able to see how it looks like the example of how it looks like, what it means, or how it looks like. As you can see, if an icon is active, it is blue in color. That selected, the selected tab of the selected section. If it is active, it is blue in color. You can change that. Like for my case, I can change that to purple because purple is my primary color. You can feel free and change that. Looks great. But if you like red, yellow, choose whatever you feel is best. Choose whatever you feel is best. Or if you don't want that, you can change it to the accent version of your application. You can change that to pink and purple. Don't just go well. Anyway, feel free. Feel free to choose whichever color you feel works best. I'll just go with the red. So for there is also the unselected color. The unselected color is always majorly the gray version. So it's just a matter of you having a look at what happens there, okay? Yeah, so that's what will happen. Now, we can drag a layout at the top of it all. Just click on general and then click a horizontal arrangement, either horizontal or a vertical arrangement, whichever you feel is best for you. I think I'm going to use a vertical arrangement, but if you want, you can use a horizontal arrangement. So I'll put a vertical arrangement there, and then width and height, I'll select fill parent, fill parent. You can select fill parent from the side, and then align horizontal, I'm going to put center, align vertical, I'm going to put center as well. And then for the background color, I can just choose any. For the background color, I think I will choose a teal. This is for just demonstration purposes. You're not creating a user interface. I know you have user interfaces in mind, and many apps out there use bottom navigation. An example is, AliExpress uses bottom navigation. We have Quora uses bottom navigation. What is the name of this famous? Instagram. Instagram uses bottom navigation as well. Yeah, so we are just giving you an example of how you guys, if you want to use a bottom navigation, there are many apps that use it. So it's just worth thinking about. So this is how you can go and have a look at the one for Instagram. Okay, you can go and have a look at the one for Instagram. But okay, just a minute. So as you can see below there, at the bottom of Instagram app, you can see there is home, search. This is a bottom navigation, just worth mentioning, okay? That is a bottom navigation. Okay, so for this bottom navigation, we are only going to demonstrate with the two icons. But if you feel you can, if you feel like adding more, you can add some more later at your own time. But for time purposes, let's only demonstrate with the two icons, only two icons. So we are going to use home and let's say an info icon. So let's go and download those icons here. Let's download those icons here. So we are at the, material.io page, that using that link that I shared with you, or you can just Google material icons, material icons. Just Google material icons. It will take you to this material.io icons. Now, let me search for home. You can control find there and search for home like that, and you can be able to see that home icon. Click on it. When you click on it, you'll be able to see a left menu there, and with an expandable icon, the one that expands towards the top. And then there is an option of you downloading a PNG icon and an SVG icon. So download the PNG version. Let me repeat. The moment you click an icon once, if you click it twice, it disappears. You click it once, there is a menu, or there is some actions towards your left. There is some action towards your left. So you can click on that up arrow so that it expands that, and then you can choose the PNG version. So when you download, it will download the zipped version of it. So you can choose color, but in my case, I've chosen black. I think that is the recommended one, but you can choose white in case your app has a white background. So choose black and then download those icons. So download home icon. I already downloaded mine a few hours ago. So that is home, and then info, okay? Info, click on it again, and then do the same, do the same. Download the black version, the PNG version of it. So go and ensure that you unzip that file. Ensure that you have unzipped that file. And then let me go to where I downloaded. Mine is in the downloads. Ensure that you've unzipped that file and rename it to something easier for you to use. I think I prefer the big icons, the 2 times. If I click the 1x, you find that the info is a bit tiny, but I prefer the 2x one, okay? So in that folder, after you've unzipped it, rename it to something you can remember. Like for my case here, I have renamed it to info black, but I'm going to rename it to info. I'm sure it is info, then it has been given some variation, some naming variations. Then ensure that you've also the home icon. On my end, I did download the home icon. I download the heart icon, but it will still work the same. So ensure that you've renamed it. Why? Because you're going to use it in the blocks section. We don't want to cram a large file name. We don't want to cram a large file name and display it in that section. So just rename it to something that you can remember, and then let's go to the code. Let's go back to our browser. Let's go back to our browser. Great. So we are done with icons. I hope we are together. I'll just give you a few 1 minute to download those icons. But one thing I will let you know, or I will let you know, is don't worry about the color of these icons. I know you've downloaded the black one, but this tool is smart. The moment it's selected, it will be able to change it or override the color that you have placed there. That's why I highly recommend you getting material icons. They are free. They're telling you here it's absolutely free at the top, okay? Our icons are free for everyone to use. Please don't try to sell them. Like you download the icons and package and sell them. No, they are free for everyone. Fantastic. Now, I'm hoping that we are together. Now, let's go to the block section. So what happens? We are going to ensure that we've populated some data, or we have ensured that when a particular page is selected or when a particular item is selected in that bottom navigation, something happens. So of course, it's when screen one dot initialize. That's the first thing that we do. Why is it not working? I think I'll have to refresh uh, my Kodular creator. It wasn't working for a moment, but it's okay. Great. So let me just delete that. So what I'm saying is when that screen dot is initialized, it might not be screen one, okay? It might not be screen one, it might be any other screen that you're putting the bottom navigation. So when screen one dot initialize, you click on bottom navigation, and then you say call bottom navigation one dot add item, okay? Call bottom navigation one dot add item. Remember, the items that are here are just for you to, they're being showcased so that you can see how it will look like. But for those items, you have to add them yourself, okay? You have to add those items yourself. When you look at the documentation as well, I'll challenge you to look at the documentation. You'll find that the ID here expects a number. So if you drag a text and drop it there, it won't work. You see, it will reject it. It won't accept. So the title is the one that accepts a text or a string and an image as well. But for ID, you'll have to use a text, which is in the math section. So you can give it an ID of 0, the first item. Then the title is home, okay? The title, give it the name home. Then for image, click on asset and upload that image that you've downloaded. I'll click and I'll upload mine. I'll upload that home icon there. Mine, I've renamed it to FAV, and they're in PNG format. So when I click open, and then it uploads, you can be able to see the entire name fav.png. So that's exactly what you type in the image section, fav.png. fav.png. So we've added one item of ID 0, title, home, then the image is that. Then I'm going to duplicate that, call bottom navigation one dot add item, change the ID to 1 when you're adding the second item. Then the title is info. And then for the image, click on asset again and upload, or if you've already uploaded all of them, well and good. But for the assets, I'll click on I'll upload mine, ensure that you upload yours and you've renamed it to something that you can easily access. So that is info.png. You can see mine is info.png. And then I'll type in there info.png. A recommendation: bottom navigation items should not exceed 5. If you have more than 5 items, kindly use a side navigation. Users will get bored. Or if you have more than 5 items, the last item of the bottom navigation should be more, okay? More, so that when they click on that more icon, it can show other menu and you put the ones that are least important. But if you put 10 items, they won't be displayed properly. Those are the unspoken rules. You might be able to create it and upload it on Play Store, but users will feel the pinch. Don't know if that makes sense. Yes. So when that screen is initialized, of course, that's what happens. So what should happen when an item is selected? When an item is selected. Now this is where we play around with our knowledge, our logic. Now for bottom navigation, let's choose when item dot is selected, drag and drop it there. So sometimes when item dot is selected is clicked, or when you use that event, or when you use that method, most people can maybe use that method and navigate it to a particular page. Or you can use that method and load a particular data. If, for example, if in this designer section, you want some particular item. Let's say you're creating a shop, an online shop, okay? This is the home page. It has some fancy introductions and so on. And then you want when someone clicks, let's say, cart, the cart button, that data changes. It's no longer those fancy items, but you have just reused that vertical arrangement. That data changes and it populates whatever you want. So if you don't want that, you can navigate it to another page, okay? Another page. So when bottom navigation one dot item selected, what should happen? uh, what you should do is you can change, for now we can change the vertical arrangement color. So let us spice it up a little bit, okay? Here at the bottom navigation, let's drag a text from the user interface, a label. Let's drag a label and drop it there, and then give it font size. I think 28 will be big enough, and make it bold. And then typeface, you can choose Roboto regular, and then or you can choose I think Roboto is too common. We can choose main font awesome regular, font awesome regular. And then text color, you can make it white. You can make it white, or you can change that in the code section. And then we can say intro, like that. Intro. It's not a must for you to write intro, but yeah. So we have a label there. So let's now, I'm just showing you on various ways you can implement this, so that in case you have an element and then you want to change it the moment a particular item is selected, that this is how you go about it. So let's go back to the blocks section, okay? So when bottom navigation one dot item selected do, what do? We call we start with a control, okay? We start with an if. Drag an if, drop it there. You can say if, get a logic and put it there. If ID, okay, not title, hover on that ID. Hover on that ID the way we just did in the Firebase, okay? Hover on that ID and then choose get ID. If get ID equals 0, so you can duplicate that ID, the one that is at the top. If get ID equals 0, then what should happen? What should happen? We say you can set vertical arrangement one dot background color, not that one, it's the set one, okay? Set vertical arrangement one dot background color to, then click on colors at the block section. It is a built-in section. Then drag a color of your choice. I'm going to be neutral here a little bit. I think a home, I'm not going to use very colorful colors, but feel free. If you don't like that one, you can just click on that color as well and choose the one that you feel is suitable for you. So set vertical arrangement one dot background color to that. And then I'll click on that label, and then set label set label one dot text to, set label one dot text to, we can set it to home page, okay? Put a text and then write there home page, like that, home page. I hope we are together. I hope we are together. We are winding up. let's extend that if and put an else if, and then duplicate that get ID, the entire the entire logical thing. So we are saying else if get ID equals 1. If get ID equals 1, you can set vertical arrangement 1 to a different color. For now, we are just experimenting so that you can see the possibilities of how of using a bottom navigation. So you can click on colors and choose any other color. I think I'll go with green now. I think this is still, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Whichever. Then whichever color you choose is fine. And then you can say set label one dot text to info page. Info page. And there is so much you can do. There is so much you can do. Don't limit your thinking. Just think on how you can implement it. You can sit down and have a workaround and create a solution with it. Yesterday, as you're finishing up, I mean, as you're finishing this app, you're going to install it and experiment it. Yesterday, I saw a very important message, and I just thought that it is very important because it's very applicable even in the coding world, because things change, languages come and go. So one thing I mean, what they said is if we just train, or if we just get trained on a particular concept today, tomorrow that concept might be null and void. Okay, that concept might not be even applicable anymore. Today we are doing Kodular, we are doing Flutter, we're doing Android, Java for Android. Maybe in 10 years to come, those languages will be non-existent. So we must all be very willing to learn more on our own. Just learn more on your own. That's what we are highly encouraging you. We can't be, let's say, teaching all the components. It won't make you stronger, or it won't make you be able to stand on your own in cases of you, let's say, of you might be alone and you might need to adapt. Okay, so that's what I'll highly encourage you guys. If you are so strong-willed, go ahead and install the coding tools and try them out, because that's the best way. And there are documentations that you can teach yourself and learn. I can assure you that all the facilitators of these sessions are self-taught. All the facilitators, starting from the web development, Madam Ruth, going to Python, Mr. Brighton, who's going to come and train you, and the other ones that are going to come, they are self-taught. So we are very willing to share with you, but based on this, try and learn on your own. When you say documentation is here, go and try it out. Think of an idea, see what others have created out there, stand on their shoulders and create your own solutions. So I hope you guys are done. Let me run the app. In the meantime, I'll share my screen. It will scan the QR code to download that app. If you have any questions, please feel free. Feel free to ask us. Also, I really like the way you guys have been responding to one another in case someone has a question. I know it has happened in one group, because in the world out there, you would need friends who are coding like you. Okay, you need friends who are coding like you, so that in case there is a concept they missed, they can be able to. What can I say? You can be able to work through it, to work out with them. Okay, so we are not saying that you become loners, you just work on stuff alone. No, just think about having an awesome community. And that's why Coders at American Spaces aims at doing that. If we in Kenya are able to create that community in which we can code and create solutions together, that would be awesome. So that's how my screen looks like. As you can see, there is that home. When I click on home, it changes to home page. When I click on info, it changes to info page, home page, info page, home page, info page. I don't know how yours looks like, okay? That's how my phone looks like. I'm excited. That's the bottom navigation. Now, if time would have allowed, we would have looked at view pages and tab layouts, but that's why the documentation is here, guys. Go and try them out. And as you can see, there is one thing why I mentioned while we are coding, while we are looking at this, and we say that ID only accepts an integer or accepts, I mean, a number, okay? How do you know that? The moment you go to, I mean, to read a particular documentation, okay? As you can see, we have, for example, if you're implementing a tab layout, you can be able to see name and icon, and you can be able to see the parameters that it accepts. That word parameter, you are going to hear it along the way if you're going to code and if you're going to continue with your coding journey. So it accepts text parameter. If you can see more, as you can see here, call tab layout dot add new tab at. The moment that screen is initialized, you can add new tabs, okay? You can add new tab and then you can position them. Position is specifically a number parameter. So a text cannot enter in that position section. That's how you know. The moment you read the documentation, think out loud and try them out like that. So if you want to remove tab, for example, you want to delete a tab, a user performs a certain action, you use a number as well. That function uses a number. So you can just have a look at all this. That is the documentation works. So you can you can try this on your own and just give it a try and let us know. Let us know what you guys try. Okay? That is just on the navigation. We have also the side menu navigation. That is just the navigation. But there are so many that you guys can be able to try on your own. You can try the drawing and animation group, the maps, sensors. We have utilities. At least we've tried storage, okay? We've tried storage. We've tried a little bit of Google Map. You can go ahead and we have tried Firebase database. You can try Firebase authentication. Firebase authentication, okay? Give it a try. Continue pushing yourself. So I'm really glad that you guys, we have been able to do this. Are there any questions? So I can see Rose, you're asking whether there are some projects created by Kodular. Yes, we can be able to share some of the projects that are created by Kodular. We'll share in the WhatsApp group so that you can have a look. Someone created a project, an e-commerce project with Kodular. You can have a look at it. We are happy to share. We are happy to share with you guys. We are happy to share. Any question? Margaret, you're asking, you've seen that you can use React Native and Flutter for cross-platform mobile apps, and Kotlin and Java are used for native Android apps. With regards to Kenyan job market, which one of these is the most marketable skill? Wow. Okay, that's a great question. They are both, all of them, it depends with what I can say is based on experience, it depends with what business needs. It depends with what a business needs. You might be good in Flutter, but that business might need someone who knows React, who is conversant with React. So why not learn all of them? Not all of them, of course. It is a journey, okay? It depends with the company that with the company. But you will find that there are jobs out there. If you Google, let's say, mobile application development jobs for Flutter, you'll find them. If you look for mobile application development jobs for React Native or for Kotlin, you'll find them. So you will always find a niche. And there are so many, there is so much out there to do. Those jobs, you can't exhaust them. That's what I can assure you. So just keep on learning and keep on working on your skills. Thank you, Margaret, for that awesome question. So uh, Charles, a very important question. That's a very important question. When storing the passwords in the database, is it possible to hash it before storing it? Yes, it is very possible. The method that you've used to create these applications is for us to comprehend the basics, the logic. Okay, we were just introducing you. There isn't much that we would do within 2 weeks and 2 sessions per week. Okay, but as you can see, if the recommended way to log in or the recommended way to create an account and handle login is by using Firebase out. Firebase out handles the hashing and the and everything, encrypting your passwords. So there is no need of you implementing the way we have done it. We have just shown you an example so that you understand the basics of coding. So go ahead and try Firebase authentication. You'll be able to, you won't have to handle the hash part. And just worth mentioning, languages out there handle this hashing this database. If you're going to, let's say, create an application using Python, of which you're going to learn next week, you'll find that if there will be some login, yes, Python will handle that for you just by one method. I can see, Rose, you've already mentioned that. Thank you. Python handles that for you. PHP as well, PHP frameworks handle hashing for you so that you don't have to create these codes from scratch. That's a great question, Charles. And thank you, Rose, for supporting that. Any other question? I love the questions today. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Charles. Any other question? Okay, since we don't have much, what we can do is I will welcome our amazing director, Madam Ruth, to give her remarks. Karibu.
Okay, thank you so much, Joanne, and everyone who's managed to be joining these sessions. Yeah, so this was just an introduction, and I will encourage you. Remember, we are training you all this. Next week, we'll be starting with Python. The other week, we'll do cybersecurity. We are going to do data collection. So, within a period of 2 weeks, you'll be learning new things. And then after that, based on your interest, because we have a competition where you are going to develop solutions in democracy, health, and security. Whoever's application will be best. It could be a data security, it could be a mobile app, it could be a website. We have some rewards for that which will be shared. And I believe that I will encourage all of you to be open-minded in a way that all these sessions that are there, come and learn. You never know where your interest could be. Today you've learned mobile development, next week you learn Python, the other week you learn cybersecurity. All these will give you an opportunity for you to choose. By the time you're able to say, okay, I want now to be part of this community, well, I can decide to come up with my own solution, or we can work together as a team. So good work, and whatever you do, if you're able to design something, feel free to share on the group. This will also encourage even the rest also to see that it's also possible. So like Rose, and then also someone else was sharing this screenshot. This really encourages even the trainers. If you do, there's nothing we can say it's small. Anything that you're able to do based on whatever you've learned, just share it. If you're stuck, just share on the group. Either one of you will be able to support each other, or the existing facilitators will be there. Yeah, and we look forward, God willing, maybe coming next month, we might get an opportunity to be visiting you to your different locations. Yeah, so we are very, very excited to be working with you in this journey, and we really hope that you are learning a lot from the trainings that we are doing. Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, John, for doing this amazing session.
Thank you so much, Madam Ruth. That's our amazing director. I don't have much to say, but thank you guys for joining and making time to join us. Change begins with us, so let's do it. Have an awesome evening, and bye, everyone.